Hi. Hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and welcome back to my blind playthrough of Elden Ring. This is episode number 18, being recorded on Friday the... is it Friday? Thursday the 22nd of September 2022. I hope you're all having a fantastic day whenever it is you find yourself watching this. So, I have a few things here on my list. Let's start first with my upgrade. So I have done a fair bit of farming, and by a fair bit I mean I don't know what level I was in the previous episode, but I want to say it was something like 57 or 58. So we're now up to level 65. I finally have the strength to wield the Ultra Greatsword with one hand, so 31 strength. Got the endurance up to 29, which is not high enough such that I don't need that item which raises my my possible equip burden, which is to say I would be fat rolling if I didn't have that special item equipped, that talisman. But yeah, that's the next goal, to continue to increase endurance until we're medium rolling with our current equip load. And we've also, so by virtue of that same farming route, I got a bit quicker and more efficient at doing it, so I was a bit better at doing it. But as you can see, I have farmed a ton of level 4 smithing stones. So the logjam right now is with level 3 smithing stones. That was what I originally went to this area to get. I assume that we'll find a whole bunch of it in the Liurnia Lake general area, like all around the open world, and probably in the what is the name? The Raya Lucaria Academy. I assume we'll find a bunch of level 3 in there. But for now, we've farmed just enough of it to get our weapon, Heavy Greatsword, all the way up to plus 12. So that's all the way past level 3 smithing stone and through to level 4. So I think in order to upgrade it further, we need level 5 smithing stone, which I assume, based on the trajectory so the next area after this one is going to be Caelid, and then after Caelid, I assume it'll be the Weeping Peninsula, because that was the other area we gained access to but didn't proceed any further into. But I suppose, there could be another area here. There's also the Siofra Riverwell depths. I don't know if that technically counts as another area. I'm going to guess it does because it's... Oh, so maybe that's after Caelid then. So that would be maybe where we get the level 5 stuff. But anyways, getting ahead of myself. So if you look at our right armament 1, we are, when two-handing it with no buffs, up to 434 attack power, which is tremendous. Using the buff, our golden buff on our weapon, we actually get it up to over 500. So, we went through that phase a couple of episodes ago, or I guess I came to the realization, like, okay, this quality halberd, as much as it had done us well up to that point, it wasn't going to carry us much farther in the playthrough. So I needed some more damage, and now we have it. So, I feel a lot more confident going forward, although because I've been pouring all of my levels into strength and endurance, our vigor is perhaps a bit on the low side. So you can see, I guess typically, with the average Souls player, you would see their vigor bar or their HP bar is usually longer than their endurance bar. Our endurance bar is almost twice as long as the HP bar. So anyways, that's a thing. But yeah, for now, I think we're just going to have to do our best to avoid damage and do lots of damage onto other things, or at least things that are trying to hurt us. The next thing on the list, so we have to come back and I guess we might as well start here because he's right here. So we handed in a book, and for some reason, I don't know, complete brain fart. I mentioned in the previous episode that sometimes I'm thinking about other things when I have a break from talking in a playthrough. So if an NPC is talking and then I've been talking nonstop up to that point, my mind just sort of goes to other things. And so I don't always fully process what's being said or done in the moment. And another example of that was when we gave this friend a book, a spell book or whatever, and I read the wrong items. So I read items that he already had as opposed to or at least one of the 2 items in the spell book I did not read, and the other item I read was one that was already there. So...
Ah, you appear to be doing well. Very good. Well then, would you like to learn an incantation?
Although I suppose having said that, you would think that I would have actually written down, because I noticed this during editing, of course, but you would think I would have actually written down which one was which. I want to say that the ones I just turned in are this one and this one. So I think I read this one in the last episode, but I might as well just read all of them just to make sure. Okay, incantation, this is Catch Flame. Again, I'm pretty sure I read this one, but I'm going to read all 4 just to be safe. Incantation originating from a sinister prophecy. Momentarily sparks flame from the caster's hand. This incantation can be cast without delay after performing another action. The Flame of Ruin is anathema to the Erd Tree, but prophets sometimes glimpse it within the faith all the same. Sadly, when this occurs, their sole reward is banishment. And so I want to say I probably also read this one, but Incantation of the Fire Monks momentarily sparks roaring flame from the caster's hand. Charging enhances potency. The giant's flame still smolders upon the distant northern mountaintop, and the fire monks are its guardians. So we've heard a lot about there's this lift that we're supposed to be getting these medallions for, or the 2 pieces of the medallion, and I think that's how we're supposed to get to the mountain where all these giants are. Incantation originating from a sinister prophecy. I think we had already read this one previously, but throws a ball of raging fire, charging, enhances potency, and causes the ball of fire to explode. The Flame of Ruin is anathema to the Erd Tree. Okay, so we've already read that part. Superior Incantation of the Fire Monks. I don't think we read this one. Creates a stream of fire to burn the area before the caster. This incantation can be cast while in motion. Hold to maintain the effect. The giant's flame is the Flame of Ruin, capable of burning the Erd Tree. And so, following the war against the giants, its ruinous blaze was sealed, and guardians were appointed to watch over it. Wow, okay, so all of you must have been thinking in the previous, like, Aegon, no, it's the other one! It's the other... It's like, how does he miss that? It's such good lore, and yeah, something he didn't know. So now we do. I mentioned when we were in Caelid that, yeah, it's a thing that, you know, there are controlled burns in forests that are meant to, control the spread of parasitic bugs and things like that. Sometimes just the forest needs to sort of regulate itself in various different ways. You know, I'm not an ecologist. I'm not going to pretend to know what actually calls for a controlled burn and how they're done and how nature does it sort of on its own, or did it before humans came along and screwed everything up. But this is obviously something different that, these trees are, insofar as the trees are not themselves sentient, the trees are very thoroughly entangled with the rest of the life on this world. And for one reason or another, the giants use their Flame of Ruin in an attempt to burn the Erd Tree. So following the war against the giants, its ruinous blaze was sealed, and guardians were appointed to watch over it. So I suppose we'll find out when we go to the land of the giants in the north, because, I'm wondering who waged the war against the giants. I sort of phrased the whole thing about the Erd Tree being sentient in a intentionally ambiguous manner, because it's not clear whether the tree is or is not sentient. Is the guidance of grace controlled by the trees, or the Erd Tree in particular? These are all questions that are, I'm sure you all know the answers to them, but they're open questions in my mind as we continue to go forward. And yes, we did read these ones, so I believe that's it. We have 5,700 runes. I might just want to pick this one up. because, yeah, we do eventually have to go back and fight that fire boss in the Gale Tunnel, and this might be helpful against that boss. So yeah, we'll purchase that and just leave it at that for now. Okay, thanks, friend.
May the Golden Order shine through you.
And you. Okay, next thing on my list. I went here. I was in the middle of upgrading weapons, and I was like, oh gosh darn it, I can't I was one-handing my weapon. I wanted to see what my damage was, my damage figures when I was two-handing it. So I was like, oh, I know, I'll jump down here, and then down there I can two-hand my weapon, go back, and then it's all good. And then I was like, oh, there's a friend here. Big Hat Logan with a blanket. And yeah, they are in kind of rough shape. So I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, only one way to find out. Hi, friend.
We meet again after all. I apologize for any offense given by my bearing, but I'm quite unable to move, you see. So, what do you need?
Okay, so for a second, when I first saw him, I thought, is that Sorcerer Rogier? Even though I keep calling him, what did I called him Roderick or something like that. I think, yeah. I'm conflating A Song of Ice and Fire and Elden Ring names in my head. But yeah, he mentioned that he lost the Guidance of Grace. I was expecting that we'd be able to find him, or at least his summon sign, before Godric. We didn't. I was wondering what was going on with that. And now he's here, seemingly, potentially suffering from Albinaric's disease or something related to it. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, he does not, he's obviously struggling right now. But yeah, let's see what skills. So these are all things he had previously. I guess we should let him know that we've defeated Godric.
You defeated Godric and claimed yourself a great rune. Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormvale, didn't we? Well done, friend. Something to mark the occasion. Go on, take it.
Ooh. Rogier's Rapier, +8, wow.
As you might have guessed, I still can't move. My fighting days are behind me. No need to be polite. I've no use for it anymore.
Wow, that's so sad. Yeah. About D. Who the heck is D?
So you've met D. D is an old friend. We found ourselves journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration of death. But our paths have since diverged, never again to cross. Though that's hardly an uncommon fate for two friends.
Friends, I don't remember who D is. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, my bad.
D was telling me that he discovered the mark of the centipede. The centipede is an ancient symbol of the curse mark. As long as whoever finds and uses it is not nefarious by nature, then we may be able to form an alliance. If only I could speak to them in person. And if they were like you, all the better.
Okay, the mark of the centipede, that does not sound good. The mark of the centipede. So, is he dabbling in some sort of, it has to be, right? Like he's trying to engage in grafting or something? Because like the whole thing about grafting, there was this impurity involved. Yeah, I watched the intro cinematic. Well, I'm looking at the floor. There. I watched the intro cinematic again the other day. And, I at various points expressed confusion about the sequence of events and the broader story of the game. So number one, Elden Ring, so this is what I have in my notes. Number one, the Elden Ring was shattered. So that's all the different runes that were at one point a single great rune got shattered and then spread, across the lands. Number 2, the demigods, all descendants of Queen Marika, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring, but then the mad taint of their newfound powers led to the shattering, which led in turn to the abandonment by the greater will. And I believe the mad taint was then also followed up by the Night of the Long Knives, when Godric was killed. And so, yeah, I'm just thinking about, so this whole idea, because it specifically said the mad taint, so in other words, impurity of the new power, which arose from the shattering of the Elden Ring. I want to say, and like the whole idea that this friend D is that they are excited about having found the mark of the centipede suggests to me that that's another sort of, one part of the rune or something like that, and that they are engaging in some sort of grafting, and that maybe that's the same thing that's going on with this friend here, which is why they're all, covered in flies, and, there's something going on under this blanket that we're not seeing. But anyways, yeah.
The misshapen corpse under Stormvale. That is a sacred relic of the Black Knives plot, as that famed night of assassination is known. It happened during the golden age of the Erd Tree, long before the shattering of the Elden.
Okay, I had it backwards.
Stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Malekith, the Black Blade, and on a bitter night, murdered Godwyn the Golden. That was the first recorded death of a demigod in all history, and it became the catalyst. Soon, the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprang forth the war known as the Shattering. I once wished to become a scholar, you see. I've spent many an hour scouring the archives for knowledge of that fateful plot. The world has grown crooked, and if you intend to put it to rights, you'd better understand what happened to make it this way. And that thing is to blame for the shape I'm in now. I urge the utmost caution. Don't disturb the corpse more than necessary.
Oh. So I agree with the first thing he said. About, the world being in a dreadful shape. You need to learn about how it got to be that way in order to address it. Agreed 100%. Despite all the cynicism I've expressed in this playthrough about academia and being a scholar in general. But the second part, I'm not sure. It seems like that might be a perspective that is informed by his particular pursuits. But yeah, he essentially just took what I said and flipped it on its head. So the Night of the Long Knives came first. Then the Elden Ring was shattered. Then that triggered the shattering. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, obviously I still have lots to learn. Okay, friend, let me know. I can bring you maybe, like, some fly traps or something. I don't know. I'll get some Venus fly traps, set them up near you. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled for it. Because, yeah, there's something going on here that... It's like he has roots growing out of him. And yeah, that's quite something. Okay. Wow. Okay, one thing I did want to check before we proceeded. I think I can upgrade my bow. Or no, I still need one more smithing stone level 3. Before I can do that. But I did want to check with the finger reader merchant friend, because it has been a while since I checked what they have. Although, yeah, we might as well check in with this friend as well while we're here.
You. What is it? Find the Albinoric woman. She hides in a cave to the... She knows the...
Okay. He's got nothing new for us. So yeah, every now and then I guess I'm just going to need to scour every inch of this place to look for, new people and new things that are happening. You really have to be on top of things in here. Hi, friends. I don't know why I'm talking to you, because you're not talking back, obviously, but yeah, I guess there's not really anything here that we need. Yeah, at some point we can do this thing, I guess. When invader requests the aid of a hunter, answers requests for summoning from hunter. So I'll grab that. I don't know if I'll engage in the other one, but yeah, at some point. Oh, we didn't read the rapier. What am I doing? I don't think we have a bellbearing, do we? No. Okay, friends. Rogier's Rapier, +8, piercing sword of superior quality, featuring intricate ornamentation, signature weapon of the sorcerer Rogier. High dexterity is required to wield the blade to its full potential, but mastery is a sight to behold, characterized by a flowing style which excels in successive attacks. Skill, Glintblade Phalanx. Skill used by the enchanted knights who served the Carian royal family. Form an arch of magic glint blades overhead, which will attack foes automatically. Follow up with a strong attack to chain the skill into a lunging thrust. I want to say that's more or less the same skill that giant ghost was using. It's basically homing soul mass, but in sword form. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice of him to give, because, and I do think it's a nice touch. The fact that it's a +8 weapon is like, you know, he's been going through the world just like you and sort of doing his thing. What is the... It has some sort of... So like ours is infused with heavy. You can see the little thing in the corner there. I'm going to assume this is probably sharp, even though it's not in the name. Okay, next thing on the list. Another mistake I need to correct. I was laughing so hard and making fun of Lieutenant the Albinaric in the previous episode about how they immobile they were. But of course, again, I was reading the item description, not really processing what it says. But having lost her beloved wolf companion, she cannot move from the place where she was summoned. So, you know, I was joking as though, and you know, reacting as though it were a glitch or something, but that's just what she is in her ash form. She is basically a turret. So you have to set her up in a place where, yeah, she doesn't need to go anywhere. And so I fooled around with that a little bit, trying to figure out if there's some way you could like automate the farming process, but it's typically, you know, maybe if you upgraded the ashes enough, it would be a bit more effective. But yeah, I found it wasn't exceptionally effective. But I guess we'll go between Latenna and Aurelia. But I'll give Latenna a couple more shots based on what we're up to, so that yeah, she can prove her worth in spite of her, you know, sad stationary state. So that was Latenna. The next thing is, oh gosh darn it, another error I made was that we picked up the Glintstone Craftsman Cookbook 4, but I read the description for the second level one. And, you know, I guess to be fair, the description is the same, but the items that it allows you to produce are different. So magic pot, roped magic pot, and shield grease. So let's have a look. Shield grease. Solidified grease made from a mixture of magically resonant materials. Craftable item. Coats left-hand armament, boosting guarding ability and all forms of damage negation. The effect lasts only for a short time. Primarily used on shields. Magic pot. Craftable item prepared using a cracked pot. A cocktail of magically resonant materials is sealed inside, called a faux sorcery in Raya Lucaria. Consumes FP, throw at enemies to inflict magic damage. I thought it said major damage, but it's magic damage. So yeah, more or less the same. Throw rearward to throw at rearward enemies to inflict magic damage. I can't speak today. Okay, next thing on our list, we're almost done. is that we need to head... I realize we did not speak with White Mask Varay after we invaded that person. So, my assumption was that we needed to get an item from a successful invasion to satisfy him. But he might just be satisfied based on the fact that we invaded someone. So let's go have a look. Okay, so we are going west. We do have a beacon set up already, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Does this guy spawn every time you come here, or was that a single spawn? No, he spawns every time. Wow. Or is this a different friend? I really don't remember. Pretty sure that's the same friend. But presumably that's the reason there's not a Site of Grace here, is the fact that otherwise you'd be able to just farm them over and over again. They actually do give a decent number of runes. Oh no. Scarab, come back, please. Okay. Yeah, I guess sometimes they don't drop items. I'm not really sure what determines that. Unless they just respawn and they don't drop items when they respawn. Okay, let's see if this was all a waste of time. Hello.
Be sure to try.
Oh gosh, darn it. Okay, yeah, we tried it. So yeah, I assume to advance his questline, we are going to need to defeat someone at some point, but I'm okay to just not do that for now. And hopefully we can come back to it and not have it be a problem. So for now, let's go to the Temple Quarter Site of Grace. Okay, so now that we're here, this is thankfully the last item on my list. And it's, another one that, is very, very obvious in hindsight. Simple map on a found on a corpse, and we found this right in front of the gate to Raya Lucaria. Seems to point to a meeting place. The man it came from surely desired one, the sole means of gaining entry into the academy, a glintstone key. So of course I looked at this map and went, oh, it's an island. I know of an island, and immediately my mind went to the Dragon Barrow Island, Church of Dragon Communion. Dragon Barrow is this area over here. And, obviously, just looking at it now, it's super painfully obvious that what we were looking for was, in fact, the island where, because you can see the ruins in the bottom of the map, and then there are the two islands there, and then the castle that looks very obviously like Raya Lucaria. I was thinking maybe, just maybe, it was Stormvale Castle, and that maybe it was just a generic castle, but, I don't know. I want to say that I didn't have a map of the lake just yet at this point. I don't think that's actually true. That's going to be my placeholder excuse for now. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that in looking at it now, so this is the ruins that we saw on the bottom. This is the island that's there. And then this is the island where the meeting place is supposedly. Oh, and okay, this is actually the last thing. In the previous episode, I kept saying over and over again, I really hope there's no limit on the number of markers you can place on the map. And of course there is, and you can see it right here on the screen, 79 out of 100. So that is, to me, that's major, major bummer. So I think what I am going to have to do is, so how do we remove this one now? Yeah, so it decreased the number. So what we're going to have to do, unfortunately, is just, after we're done this area, we're just going to have to clear them all. And then, I'll just have to reapply them in the next area. I still don't know how the heck to deal with that trapped chest there. Maybe that's something we'll figure out later on, because it doesn't look like you can remove, you can either remove one or you can remove all. So I'm going to have to remove all and then replace any of the markers that I've placed elsewhere. So yeah, kind of a pain in the rear when you think about it. I suppose another alternative could be you could just place... Oh, no, you can only place... Oh, gosh darn it. Yeah, you can only place a certain number of beacons. I was thinking you could place a bunch of beacons. And then, yeah, you know, once you've explored an area, the beacon will disappear, in theory. So, yeah. Anyways, I understand how the game works somewhat. And I apologize if it's been frustrating watching me say things that I should know by now and just, you know, questioning things and being like, oh, I wonder how this works, even though the game has very obviously telegraphed the answer to those questions. We have some skulls in the water here, but again, in the previous episode when I mentioned, oh yeah, there's a... that albinaric looked like it popped out of the water. And indeed, they did. So, you know, that's a thing. I obviously just wasted my... Order's Blade. Oh, gosh darn it. Is it going to disappear now? Maybe we should just respawn. Yeah. Gosh darn it. Okay. Let's go back to the Site of Grace, rest, and try this again. Gonna need some sort of plan for this. I don't know how we're gonna deal with them. I suppose... No, I'll leave it. I'll let it be a surprise. Okay, almost 40 minutes into my recording, and we're finally getting started. So, my sincerest apologies for a slow start to this episode. As I mentioned, I am rather out of it today, so I suppose it's not terribly surprising that it took me so long to get through what was a relatively simple list of items. Oh, so are these? They're just skulls, okay. I was wondering if maybe they were some new enemy type or something. And again, I'm reasonably certain we explored all of this, at least up to this point here. Suppose we could try doing a jumping attack on the scarabs. Typically they run away, or... Oh, okay, never mind. We can summon Liurnia. Oh. Okay, easy enough. Yeah, let's summon Liurnia. Although, gosh darn it, wow, she really requires your full FP in order to summon her. But I suppose, yeah, if there's any place where you should be summoning her, it's here. Hello, Liurnia. Friend, look this way. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, she is not paying attention. I suppose she's upset at me for talking all that smack. Oh, that's a thing. That's definitely new and frightening. That's going to be a boss for sure. Is that a dragon? I'm pretty sure that's a dragon. Gosh darn it. Okay. We have these beautiful blue flowers here too. Oh, friends. I did not wake up today and think, I want to fight a dragon. That'd be great. But I guess we're doing it. Glintstone Dragon Smarag. Ouch! Wow, that really hurt. Oh! Okay, I was not expecting the boss to come down with such force. Gosh darn it. hopefully Lieutenant... Oh no. Yeah, we can't have the boss focusing on Lieutenant because she'll be basically dead meat. Yeah, there she goes. Rip Lieutenant. Sorry, friend. Okay, this dragon has a very cool look. Reminiscent of... Oh, that's an interesting effect. I don't think it's Drogon. That in the Game of Thrones series... Spoilers for what was one of the biggest TV shows ever, I guess. But one of Daenerys Targaryen's dragons ended up dead in the north and getting revived by the Night King. And became an ice dragon, effectively. Very cool look with, like, the blue flame. Blue flame and oh, gosh darn it. The blue flame and everything. Okie dokie, so my assumption is that, yeah, we're going to have to take out Smarag before we are able to... or Smarag is the one who actually has the Glintstone key. So it is a Glintstone dragon after all, so that makes sense. But, yeah. I was not anticipating having to fight a dragon, but I don't know why I keep thinking, like, I'm going to be able to go to these places and everyone's just going to roll out the red carpet for me. It's definitely not a fair assumption, but I guess that's the false sense of security, I guess, that you run the risk of having when, like, with a map like this, and you know, okay, I have a map, I know where I'm going, and I know what I'm going to find when I get there, but typically it's not quite that easy, or maybe that's just me all the time I spent playing Skyrim, because in Skyrim you can just ignore things for the most part, and, you know, obviously there's some situations in which you really do need to pick up certain things or do certain things, but, you know, and, you know, go through particular quest lines, but there's so much stuff where you can just not worry at all. I'm taking a little bit of damage with each of these, but that's okay. I think we're going to rest, because I just wanted to make sure that they didn't have any... Oh no. Just wanted to make sure they didn't have any items or anything. We weren't missing anything by not killing them. And yeah, confirmed. Okay, let's go rest, and then we'll summon Lieutenant and give us another shot. Oh no! Oh gosh darn it! 2 free hits I've missed. I knew that was coming, but I was already committed to the animation. Oh! Ouch. Whoops. Okay. So I think we might be better off setting Lieutenant up right on the periphery. And then going in, doing our buffs, and trying to take the boss out from there. So, yeah, and this is also the second lake that hasn't really been a lake, but just a bunch of standing water. So I'm wondering, like, are the lakes all associated with dragons? Does each area have, you know, an Everjail, a lake with a dragon, like, because so far that's the pattern. So it's intriguing, but yeah, I'm not sure what really to think about it other than that. So let's summon Lieutenant. Hopefully, okay, that's not an ideal position, but we need to drink our flask. We have like 2,000 runes there, but I think the early hits are more important. Oh, I shouldn't have got greedy. Oh, gosh darn it. What was I thinking? Also should have seen that coming. So now the question is that fire or is it magic? Because if it's magic, it's going to change, your defensive setup. So, I was just thinking, okay, I should equip some fire defense or something, but I guess it really depends on whether it's fire or magic. I'm going to assume it's magic, but first let's see if we can survive even for a minute. Oh, missed. No. Oh. Rolled way too early there. If only I was near the front. Okay, greedy Aegon. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I got greedy. Gosh darn it. Oh, of course, we have fire damage negation, lightning damage negation, and holy damage negation, but no magic damage negation. Okay, I guess we just have to do it the good old-fashioned way, unless we have some sort of outfit that is much better for magic damage. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we might... Maybe we'll make some changes here to boost our magic damage. Or, sorry, rather, our magic defense, I should say. It is possible that this dragon is just going to do so much damage to us that none of this will matter, but I suppose we'll find out. Because right now that one attack is one-shotting us no matter what, so... Okay, we have to find another set of... I guess these are pretty nice. I was going to say we have to find another set of leggings in which you can actually see Regret's feet. Because, yeah, that's absolutely just looking snazzy, friend. Looking very snazzy. Okay, I guess this is our new look. But we have much higher magic damage than we did previously. So... let's hope it makes a difference. Oh, crud. She has a slight delay before that attack actually hits, and it's just enough to mess me up. Thought I dodged that. Nope. No, gosh darn it. Oh no, Lieutenant! I'm sorry! Oh, I shouldn't have run out of stamina! Oh, gosh darn it. I really don't have a clue what to do here when the dragon is using their fire and stuff. Like, it's just... I think I have the same problem with every dragon boss fight, though. I don't think this one is unique. I just spend so much time chasing them around, not knowing how to dodge their... Okay, this one I know how to dodge. Oh, okay, I spoke too soon. Okay, I love you, Lieutenant. You're great. But I think this is a job for Jellyfish Friend. Jellyfish Friend, I need you. Sorry that I ever doubted you. darn it. No, leave jellyfish friend alone. Okay, I guess you can kind of use this island here for cover. A smarter person than me might have figured that out sooner. Better late than never. Oh, gosh darn it, I missed. I don't think Jellyfish Friend has succeeded in poisoning them yet. Oh no! Wrong side. Oh gosh darn it. That might have done it. Rip Jellyfish Friend. You are the best. Oh no. Oh, if we had gone around to the head fast enough. We might have been okay. Oh, stop flying away from me, please. Why can't you just stand still and let me defeat you, please? Whew. Dragonheart. A new draconic power is available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. Well, GG's friend. Didn't hate that boss fight. You know, I don't know that I liked it either. It was kind of in the middle for me. You know, in the end, even though Jellyfish Friend did not actually poison them, I feel like Jellyfish Friend did a lot there to help us out. So I apologize to Jellyfish Friend for, gosh, what is her name again? Aurelia. I apologize. Sorry, Aurelia, for doubting you and going with Latenna temporarily. Latenna, I'm sure, has her uses, but yeah, Jellyfish Friend and I, you know, we obviously go way back. So, yay, our runes of 0. Oh my goodness, so you're telling me this entire time that was the friend, the meeting place friend. I saw them sort of in the corner of my eye when trying to sneak up on the dragon and just didn't really think about it. Like, I thought about it, but I was like, okay, I assume we're gonna have to kill the dragon anyway to get in. But yeah, anyways. Kukri. I guess we could have just avoided that, but yeah, who am I to avoid a boss fight? He says, having avoided 2 boss fights in the game up to this point. The one under in the Fringe Folk Hero's grave, as well as the fire one. Anyway, Dragon Wound Grease. Sounds very pleasant. Solidified grease made from a mixture of gravel stones. Craftable item. Coats armament, granting anti-dragon effects. The effect lasts only for a short time. When the dragons were born from their ancient kin, they lost their stone scales, which can now be used to cause them mortal harm. Very interesting. So, when dragons were born from their ancient kin. So, in other words, it's not the dragons in this world that had the stone scales, it's their ancient kin. So, there's a kin to dragon, I'm wondering if that's the giants or something. Yeah, that's definitely a mystery to be addressed later. Academy Glintstone Key. Key to the seals binding both gates to the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Activates warp magic bound within the seals. A glintstone key will remember its user, meaning once used, it can never be passed on to another. The Academy does not welcome the indolent. I'm going to assume that means someone who is, lacking in intelligence, or someone who loses keys or something. I don't know. Let's look it up. It's time for Fun with Definitions. Indolent, as an adjective, means wanting to avoid activity or exertion, lazy, or medicine of a disease or condition causing little to no pain. So I assume it's lazy, because it would be just like a place like the Academy of Raya Lucaria to say something like, you're just lazy, you're not applying yourself, you're not making an effort, which is actually things that were said to me when I was growing up as a kid. I was considered smart but lazy. And yeah, maybe they were right, but I think it had at least something to do with the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. But anyways, story for another time. I do not remember now which gauntlets we had. I'm pretty sure we had the night leggings. I guess we can keep these gauntlets because they have slightly higher poise. The weight is higher, but now we have that little bit of extra breathing room as far as the weight is concerned because of the extra levels we put into endurance. So, yeah. Okie dokes. So this is the friend. Who the other friend from whom we looted that item, the meeting place map, was supposed to meet. Yeah, so his eyes have seemingly crystallized. So I'm going to assume this is something maybe we're going to see inside the Academy of Raya Lucaria, where, I don't know, is this friend trying to supplement their brain with crystals or something? It's a very strange look. But yeah, I suppose not all that out there in the broader context of From Software games. Okay, so we have a decision to make now. Let's put a banner there to indicate that we have explored this area thoroughly. I suppose I should make sure that we have actually explored it thoroughly at the same time. But, we could just go back to the Academy Gate Town and proceed into the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Okay, I have a feeling we're not supposed to climb up here. But won't. Very reminiscent of, once again, Skyrim, in the sense that there was so much you could do in Skyrim by just sort of, climbing up mountains, the side on the sides of mountains and just strafing left and right and using your horse to try and reach places that, well, it typically ended up with your horse, unfortunately, meeting their end. But, oh. Why is it always you don't have the right? That's a good question, friend. I'm not sure I have an answer to it. I assume they mean you don't have the right to proceed any further than this. So, this is a nice vantage point. It really is a beautiful looking place. The academy, that is. Are you joking? Yeah, I have no meaningful sense of how fall damage works in this game, because I've said in the past, you know, I need to trust the game more, that I can fall from greater distances and not die, but every time I've done that, I've died. And I guess, to be fair, I'm falling from places. Oh gosh darn it, don't tell me that my runes are up there. That is bad. No, of course they are. I'm falling from locations I'm not actually supposed to be. I'm sort of glitching into locations. Maybe glitching is a bit strong, the term for what I'm doing, but oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, I did not want to lose 14,000 runes just like that. Suppose this does provide a nice vantage point. So there is a shoreline that looks... Is that another Everjail? Okay, maybe the scarabs that are glowing like this scarab here in the middle of the screen is glowing. Maybe they're the ones who are carrying guaranteed drops. I'm not sure. That's the site of grace. Minor Erd tree. Somewhere here. Yeah, I did say that I would not explore this area until I got my hands on a map. And so, yeah, I think I should stick to that. But yeah, it is interesting. There does appear to be a second Everjail there, or maybe that's just a platform for something else. Okay, we have a lobster or a crayfish friend. I actually looked this up today. Crayfish are sort of, maybe they're evolutionary cousins or something, but they're smaller than lobsters. Of course, the scale is completely broken when you have a giant crayfish. But yeah, apparently these are crayfish and not lobsters, so fair enough. I did not know the distinction between them until I looked that up. Okay, so I guess the rule of thumb is if you're in a place you're probably not supposed to be after jumping up, don't just jump to the ground. Just walk there as best as you possibly can. Okay, so we've taken care of that. Maybe we should check out that little island with the item-bearing scarab on it, because it is technically on our map. Even though it's right at the edge. What the heck? Okay, that was weird. Be wary of dragon, okay. I assume that's the boss we're talking about? Scarab, but try ranged battle. Okay, I'm gonna try and save quit, see if it respawns. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, I think I was standing too close. Let's try one more time. Perhaps we should use our special mighty shot. Ah, somber smithing stone level 2, very nice. Not exactly what I needed, but I do appreciate a good somber smithing stone. Can you direct me to the level 3 smithing stones, please? Okay then, where to? Do we want to... You know, I think it might be worthwhile sort of just circling the perimeter to see where this other gate is, because this is the South Raya Lucaria gate, which implies that there's a north or a west or an east Raya Lucaria gate. And so it might be worthwhile trying to see whether there's a more advantageous way in before we proceed to the south gate. So let's give that a shot. It does look absolutely beautiful, this castle, but the frame rate is dreadful. It is raining, so maybe that has something to do with it. There is a site of grace. We should maybe at some point go back and speak with Dragon Friend, the dragon, or what was his name? Bloody Finger Hunter or something like that. Sorcerer Selin. Yura, Hunter of Bloody Fingers. Jura's long lost cousin. Okay, everything has this weird aura around it here again. I want to say that one probably has an item. Oh, there's so many of them. Jeez. Why are there so many scarabs here? Ooh. Swordstone Gate Key. Swordstone Key Gate, I should say. Don't think we have any, though. Do we? No. Oh, okay. I wish it just told you no swordstone key in inventory. Let's set a marker here. The only problem is, again, once we remove all these markers, I guess maybe I'll put a chest, and then when we are removing the other markers, we'll just look for the chests and then replace them. I don't know. I was so proud of myself for coming up with a system for exploring using the map to explore the open world areas, but yeah, that actually it doesn't completely ruin it, but it certainly puts a damper on it, at least a little bit. Meant to clear this beacon. Yeah, the graphical effects in this game are very strange. Like how in some instances everything just sort of has a weird glow around it. It's reminiscent of, if you've ever played Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, when your teammates were around walls and whatnot, you can see sort of an aura around them. I want to say it's probably a feature of the Half-Life Source engine, or I guess just called the Source engine. But yeah, it looks sort of like that, but you're obviously not seeing it through walls, so I'm not sure what the significance of that is, if any. Okay, so we have more of these slouched over friends. I don't remember what I referred to them as, or what they're actually supposed to be called. Again, these are friends that, you know, I might have been more surprised when I saw them had I not seen them consistently in the loading screens. It's kind of a shame. Like, I wish you could that FromSoft included an option for, you know, what you'd like to see in the loading screens. Because right at the beginning of the game, and that's the weird thing, right at the beginning of the game, there was actually one loading screen in which you just see the Elden Ring logo in the lower left. I think it's after we were defeated by Godric. And then we were sort of spawning in the Stranded Graveyard. That there was just a little Elden Ring logo in the corner, and then it loaded. And so, you know, there is clearly some sort of placeholder for the loading screens that have the concept art in them. And, you know, I don't know. I guess it's not a huge deal, but it would have been cool, I think, to just not have any of those things, you know. And I guess I'm an exceedingly rare use case for a feature like that because, yeah, I don't, or I didn't, I should say. I was going to say I don't get involved in hype trains or anything like that. And I guess I haven't for a while, but I also have been involved with those things in the past. And yeah, I somehow managed to, I managed to avoid spoilers for this game for the most part up until this point. Really, the only major thing that was kind of spoiled for me was the fact that it is such an open world game when being compared to other FromSoft games. Other than that, I've been relatively unspoiled. And so, you know, it would have been nice to be completely unspoiled and not like, oh yeah, I saw this guy in the loading screen, because there are a few things I've seen in the loading screens that we've not yet seen in the game. But again, I suspect it's going to be a situation in which, like, we come across it and it might have otherwise have been surprised or taken aback by their look or whatever. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. I don't know what I'm complaining about, if I am in fact even complaining. If we can get up here with the horse. Oh. Gosh, if you were speedrunning this game, I wonder how much time you would just spend, like, looking for ways to glitch into different areas. Because I'm sure there's just... I said this about my Sekiro blind playthrough, or during my Sekiro blind playthrough, I should say, but I think it applies even more so in this instance, which is... Yeah, it would be... I'm just really looking forward to seeing not blind playthroughs, to seeing speedruns of this game. Because, you know, you struggle so much in a game like this, and you spend so many hours getting through a single area, and then you see these incredibly skilled speedrunners just fly through the game like it's nothing. And yeah, I guess, you know, it's not always the best feeling. It's kind of like, wow, I can't believe I took so long to do this. And, you know, obviously it took them a while too, but you're just not seeing all the practice that goes into it, I guess. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to seeing just how they break the game, because the more open-ended and open world the game is, the more opportunities there are to sequence break or just break the game in general. And in some cases, that actually leads to a very boring speedrun viewing experience. So one example I'm thinking about, boring is perhaps not the right word, but Bloodborne, I want to say in the first year or so of that game being out, some of the speedruns were so... They involved so many save quit strats. And because, of course, Bloodborne is not available, we should check out this gazebo, which does not appear to be on the map for some reason. Because Bloodborne is not available on PC, that meant, and at the time, I don't think the PS4 Pro was a thing even, Smithing Stone level 2. I was hoping that would be level 3. But yeah, there was no PS4 Pro, I don't think, at that point. So that meant everyone had these excruciatingly slow loading screens that they had, oh gosh darn it, that they had to deal with several times. That was close. Yeah, everyone had these super long load screens, and there were like, 20 or 30 save quits in the entire game. And so it was just, not great to watch, because even though the in-game times were like, I don't know, 2 hours or something, the actual time of watching the speedrun was like 4 hours, because so much time was spent in loading screens and on the main menu. And then, there were other weird things, graphical glitches, things like they were going through the area way too fast as far as the game was concerned. So the game wasn't actually loading assets on time. So it just looked like you were walking in the air. I suppose that aspect of it was kind of entertaining. But yeah, I think this would be the type of game. Certainly, I imagine you're probably going to see a ton of graphical glitches, but I'd be very intrigued to see what people do with the horses and the horse jumping and just, so many different aspects of this game that I think could make it a very interesting speedrun game to watch. Okay, where to now? So that was the second marker we had. I suppose we could go check out this island. Oh, it's that island there. Which looks fairly involved. So that's that's definitely the gazebo we just checked out. There's another balloon over there. Hot air balloon, spy balloon or something. What was the name of that? Eastgate Bridge Trestle. Trestle? Trestle. Don't know what a trestle is. It's another candidate for fun with definitions. If I could Google the definitions of terms while also holding a controller and playing the game, I would look up a lot more definitions. There's so many sites of grace in this. Sorcerer's Isle, okay. Okay, we'll need, maybe if we equip our bow range thing, talisman. I do get a tremendous amount of enjoyment out of that, probably more than I should. It's just such a weird thing. Oh my gosh, there's more. Okay, interesting. So these have to be like reconnaissance balloons. It's the only explanation I can think of. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the correct explanation, of course, but... No, we need our talisman. Gosh, I was thinking in this episode we would actually enter Ride Lucaria, but there is just way too much to do in the open world parts of this game. Those are crow hydras, it looks like. Crow-headed hydras. Not quite sure how you're supposed to get up there. Don't want Raya Lucaria spying on us. It actually does not look like it's a weather balloon. It looks like it's made of skin or something, which is, yeah, obviously frightening. Oh. So where is the... Wow, okay, so the... Ooh! Okay, so, let's see what's here first. It looks like we have another ghost friend. I'm wondering, at a certain point in the game, because... I guess thinking back to Dark Souls 2, there was that item in Frozen Ilium Lois, which was the Eye of a Priestess, I believe it was, which allowed you to see all the ghosts in the world. Gosh, I didn't get that balloon there. So, you know, I'm wondering, like, is it going to be a similar thing in this, where suddenly we're able to actually perceive all of these ghosts we could not see previously? Do love a good level 6 golden rune, that's for sure. So I'm always going to actually take the time to get those. So yeah, you know, because I'm not sure about that. That's one thing I'm still completely confused about. And the other thing is, yeah, how the heck you're supposed to deal with trapped chests. Interesting. So it looks like this place has a seal on it, not unlike that which we see in the Rye Lucaria Gate. Seek thee 3 wise beasts. It's not seek thee, it's just seek 3 wise beasts. Oh, okay. Are you guys the beasts? No? No, there's just a lot of them. Hi, friends. Okay, these are the zombies from Caelid. They're definitely the zombies from Caelid. The same enemy type anyway. And I wonder, are they just going to continually come at us? Because, yeah, I'm not especially interested in doing that. And playing survival with these things. Because we've already discovered an... Oh! Turtle ghost friend? Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, the turtles is another thing I'm still confused about. Gosh, the frame rate in this is dreadful at times. Yeah, I really wanted a constant 60 frames per second, but like, it doesn't seem... You know, I felt like it was capable in the first few episodes we recorded of achieving that. But at a certain point you wonder, like, wouldn't you rather just have a constant 30 or something, or constant 40, like anything that just keeps it consistent? Because it really sort of takes you out of it when you're so focused on what you're doing and then suddenly the frame rate drops like crazy and you remember you're playing a video game. It's just, I don't know. I would almost rather a consistent 30 or 40 or 50 than having 60 frames per second and have it stutter constantly. Okay, this is something I noticed while farming, and I noticed this previously, but at the time I think I said something like, oh, does this friend have our runes or something? So, because it's obviously a very similar effect to that which we see in Bloodborne, when you die right where an enemy spawns, and or, you know, within a certain distance of where the enemies spawn. And that enemy then absorbs your blood echoes, and you can see it in their eyes. And so when I first saw it in this, I was like, oh, you know, that's interesting. And I thought maybe it was just particular to that enemy who spawned. But when I was farming, I saw it in different enemies, like, over and over again, in that, like, it wasn't the same enemy every time, but every now and then, every 4 or 5 farming runs, I would see someone else with it. And so I'm wondering what that means, if anything. I don't think they necessarily have any greater health, but maybe they have more of a chance to drop rare items or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think they dropped anything there. So I guess we are going to have to just come back here. Because we need to seek 3 beasts, or 3 wise beasts. And so we have yet to... Oh, unless the beasts... The beasts couldn't be the turtles, right? Tetsu's Rise. Okay, in Toronto, there's a... Yeah, I don't know if it's specific to Toronto, if it's an international chain or what, but there's this delicious dessert place called, I think it's Uncle Tetsu's. They have this delicious, delicious cake that my wife introduced me to, and now I can't live without, so... Yeah, that's the Tetsu I know. Don't know who this Tetsu is, but... Okay, so... we obviously have to come back here. So you know what? I will just mark that on... Yeah, I forgot that we can mark things already. So I think we'll leave that. I don't think we need the Crystalline Woods. Yeah, I guess I can do that off camera. Just marking all the various sites of grace and what we need and what we don't. So let's head towards number 3, beacon number 3. Wow, look at that place. Again, absolutely stunning. And then the frame rate. And then there's the frame rate. Whoa. Okay, it's just another one of those horseback friends. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, I guess Alive and Dead don't really have a ton of meaning in FromSoft games. Like, it does and it doesn't. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell what's alive and what isn't. What is just a spectral ghost or something. Maybe the point is that you're not actually supposed to think there's a difference. Those are wraiths, I seem to recall, the ones they're summoning with the bells. This is an interesting area. Okay, so this is gotta lead to a gate or back entrance or something. It's because there's so much stuff here. And again, I don't know why, like, I just can't feel compelled to pick things up. This is just, I'm too paranoid about missing things, and, you know, later on being like, oh, you know, gosh darn it, if only I had been picking up the tarnished sunflowers, then I'd be able to craft 1,000,000 of this item that is now very important. Oh, these are bats. Okay, for a second I was like, what the heck is that? Oh, thank goodness I spent all that time farming and upgrading this weapon. Oh, gosh darn, all of this friend is not making it easy. Because it really has made this game a lot more enjoyable. Because, yeah, you know, a big part of the challenge, a big part of what makes FromSoft games special is the challenge involved. But, you know, to some degree, you need to feel that weight of your weapon. I don't know, maybe that's just me. It's probably a subjective thing. But, and maybe that's why I always end up with either ultra great swords or great swords. Because, yeah, I just prefer the feeling you have with, it's not literally a tactile feeling, because obviously you're not really holding the sword or anything, but there is that weightiness to the combat, which I adore. Crasso grass, therefore, let there be too high up. What? I don't get it. Again, there are probably memes and stuff that I'm missing in the messages here. I assume maybe that's right underneath something that's important, or maybe I'm just reading way too much into it in general. Because it actually does not look like there's really anything here. We have plenty of Erdleaf flowers, though. I feel like every time we get closer to the Erd tree, it feels like we're farther away. Like it just towers over everything. And I wonder if they're, quote unquote cheating in the same way that they did with some of the things that you would see in the distance in like Dark Souls, for instance. Illusory Wall did a video where, exploring what things are in the distance and how it compares to what you see in the map viewer. And, things are not always, if ever, one-to-one. So, I'm wondering if there's some trickery going on with the Erd tree to make it always sort of appear as though it's in the same, as large as it appears, and it doesn't seem to change, and it always seems to be right over the horizon, even though it's not, actually. We see some interesting banners up there. It look like they're translucent, although that could be just the game being glitchy and graphically problematic. Okay, we have some more of those wraith calling friends. Oh, a bunch of them, wow. Hello. No. I have one of those bells too, friends. But I'm not using it because I'm trying to be kind. He says while obliterating them with a ultra great sword. Oh, sorry, horse friend. That was unkind of me. Stone sword key. Okay, it was here. I feel like there's another one. We did come across another one somewhere, but I don't remember where it is. Oh, gosh darn it. And I realized in Stormvale Castle, I spent some more time exploring there off camera, and I realized that I used a swordstone key there in an area that you can very easily just access by coming from above. So I learned my lesson there, I think, in terms of not being too hasty about using those items, because in some instances it's apparent that there are okay, this is another friend I saw on the loading screens. It's still frightening, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm not scared right now, but oh my goodness. Why do you exist? You shouldn't exist. Again, things that... Oh my... Okay, that's interesting. What the... Oh my gosh, they cut down the tree. How dare you? Okay, one more hit, and they're good. I almost got really greedy. This tree can be chopped down, presumably. Okay, that really was frightening. There's the other gate. Oh my, oh no, oh, that's not the other gate. That's the south gate. That is indeed the south gate. Wow, that was, as I said, an experience. Jeez Louise. Wow, okay. We survived though. And so I guess, you know, maybe to counter what I was saying previously, that's not exactly how I expected my encounter with that thing to go. So maybe there is something to be said for, you know, playing with the player's expectations using the concept art in the loading screen, even though I don't think that's what they were trying to do. I think I'm just much more precious about spoilers than the vast majority of people are, because I feel like most people don't care nearly as much as I do, which is obviously totally fair, because I think the vast majority of people who play these games don't do blind playthroughs of the game for YouTube, so I think that's a specifically me thing. Well, not specifically me. Many people do blind playthroughs, but I think the vast majority of people who, I keep overgeneralizing, many people who do blind playthroughs on YouTube, they're not really blind playthroughs. That's why they call them first playthroughs or walkthroughs or something like that, because they're often people who have watched pre-release stuff and you know, played the network test and done all these other things, whereas I've just been completely off the grid as far as the Souls community goes, which, yeah, you know, makes me kind of sad at the same time. Not kind of sad, it makes me sad. Just because, yeah, I've had to unsubscribe on YouTube from a lot of people whose content I've enjoyed over the years that, you know, I feel bad about it, and, you know, don't want people to think that I don't care. It's just, yeah, lack of time and wanting the integrity of this playthrough to be maintained as best as possible in a way that ensures a good viewing experience for everyone. But yeah, it's a very specific use case, and FromSoft should absolutely not, as though they're watching this and feeling bad about it, but insofar as they are, they should absolutely not worry or feel bad about it, because, of course, just one person, and, yeah, who gives a darn about Aegon of Astora. Okay, that's, was that another Deathbird? Okay, it looks like it's another Deathbird. Let's maybe have a rest for a second. Gate Town North. Okay, might as well check out this gazebo here, and then, yeah, finish checking out all of these little islands. Beginning with this island right next to us. And I'm really hoping that was not another Deathbird, although I suppose it could be worse. It could be a dragon. That first Deathbird wasn't... They looked frightening. Wow, and the whole area has a very eerie glow to it right now. What time is it? It's night. Ooh. Oh my... Okay, it is another Deathbird. Okay, Death Right Bird. Whoa! Okay, that's interesting. Okay, we were not ready for this. I don't know what that status effect even is. Okay, that was frightening. Yeah, let's let's use some of those golden runes we picked up so that we can level up and fight this frightening friend without worrying about losing our runes. Okie dokes, we got our endurance up to 30 now. Yeah, I have no idea what that status effect was supposed to be. For a split second, I thought it was actually a dragon, but then it wasn't until it landed. It comes through a portal of some sort. It wasn't until it landed that I realized it was just another death bird. Well, I say just another death bird, but... Ouch. Should have been ready for that. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so that was frozen, or freezing, whatever the heck it's called, frost. Which makes sense. But the fact that it's a death right bird, so it's a bird that performs rites when someone's about to die, seemingly. Which suggests perhaps that, oh yeah, gosh darn, it's morning, okay, we need to wait until evening time. So, yeah, who is having this bird, grotesque bird, perform their last rites, and what do those rites involve? So I'm going to assume, these rites have something to do with frost or freezing or snow or something like that. And the bird has just sort of become this, abomination of what it is supposed to be, or once was, but frightening one way or the other. I feel like that's a separate status effect. That was not frost. So this friend builds up multiple status effects. Get wrecked. I really do love this weapon. I think it catches me out sometimes because, I'm being too greedy and trying to squeeze in too many hits because obviously it's slow, but I do love it. Ancient Death Rancor. Sorcery of the Servants of Death summons a horde of vengeful spirits that chase down foes. Charging enhances potency. They are cinders of the ancient death hex, raked from the fires of ghost flame by death birds. Okay, yeah, that's frightening. Okay, Rip Deathbird number 2. So, yeah, it's amazing to me that there are seemingly entire pages of items dedicated specifically to particular items that you get from particular, from defeating particular enemies. Because there's, I guess these aren't from defeating particular enemies, but it's like, this has its own page. And then this has its own page. We only have 2 of these, the sorceries. Incantations have their own page, Ashes of War. So, like, on the one hand, it's great that they have subdivided everything to such a degree. But then on the other hand, like, it's almost, too much. Almost overwhelming. I guess that could be the tagline for this game as well as this playthrough especially. Almost overwhelming, but still great and enjoyable. So I hope you all are enjoying watching me enjoy it, and that you're not finding my commentary too nitpicky or negative. Yeah, I'm just trying my best to make sense of the world before me, given the tools I have at my disposal. First and foremost of which is my past experiences with FromSoft games. Even though that does sort of color my approach and understanding and expectations as far as this game goes, even though it's its own game and deserves to be evaluated on its own merits, of course, but yeah, complicated thing. So obviously in this episode I am starting to run out of time. And here's another portal. I think we are probably going to want to activate that lighthouse there and see what it adds to our map. I'm going to assume it's going to add something like West Liurnia Lake or something like that, and then we'll see the rest of the area. And then we also have this gate. Yeah, maybe we should just see where this leads. Oh, it's... Okay, well that's convenient. And it's exactly what I said it was going to be too. Map Liurnia West. Wow. Okay, so we have a minor Erd tree here. As well as some kind of fortress here. Don't know what that is. There's a cave at the end of this body of water here. This part of the map we already had. Wow, yeah. This is where those frightening crystal guys were. I do wonder if we're now able to do enough damage to actually leave a mark on them. Funny, I don't remember there being, like, there was the village of the Albinarics, but I don't remember seeing all of this additional. Maybe I just wasn't looking there because we didn't actually have the map yet. Not sure. I'm satisfied now that we have that map. I do love that that's exactly where it led us, and I was just thinking, oh, maybe we should go back here, but yeah, that works. So let's head back to the North Gate Town and see if we can, or Gate Town North, and see if we can clear off these beacons. Okay. Don't think there was anything on this little island here. I just wanted to verify that. No, we're good. Stick our flag there. And then there's number 2 just to our left. Academy Gate Town. My goodness. Beautiful, beautiful. It's just the... I love the vistas in this game. Vistas, the skyboxes, the weather patterns, time of day system, all that stuff. Like, it just, yeah, speaks to me on a deep level in terms of my, you know, the things I enjoy in video games. The feeling that the world is alive and that you're not just, yeah, you're not just in a static sort of place. There's a believability to it. And in this game, they do a tremendous job of cultivating that until the frame rate drops. And you're like, gosh, FromSoft. What happened? I suppose it could be worse. It could be Blight Town levels, or like level frame drops, or... Oh, there they are. Alban Arc friends. So Blight Town, what was it in... Oh! These are not Alban Arc friends. These are those who walk in death friends. Those who live in death, I should say. I suppose they also walk in death by virtue of living in it, but... A cool magic effect there, friend. Color me impressed. Suppose we are trampling on their graveyard, so... Should not be surprised that they're upset about it. Crystal Cave Moss, we've had that, obviously, from the Crystal Caves. Oh, you have a little bit more HP. Some fancy skulls there. Thank goodness for holy damage. Or perhaps I should thank, instead of goodness, I should thank... Ooh, Executioner's Great Axe. I should thank Grace. Thank you, Grace. Bulky cleaver welded to a long haft, said to have been used to dispatch the remnants of defeated armies, felling them like timber. Perhaps that is the reason it excels at critical hits. That's gruesome. So yeah, it looks like this is all a graveyard, seemingly. I don't know why there'd be houses here amidst a graveyard, but... Or maybe these were administration buildings or something, wherever they administered the burial plots and whatnot. Perhaps I'm just thinking too deeply about it. That's okay. Are you done? Okay, we have checked out that gazebo. Honestly, I don't know what I would do if you could not put things on the map. I think I would just regularly go to the same places over and over again, not realize I'd already cleared them. And this playthrough would be an even more aggravating experience than it already is for those of you watching. So I suppose I should be grateful for the 100 slots that I have available for that type of thing. Yeah, it is actually very helpful to know. Maybe they're annoyed because I'm taking all their golden runes from their alluring skulls. It is very helpful to know, having the knowledge that those you receive that additional flask or flasks charges in it when you've defeated the last of a group of enemies. Because then you know at least, okay, of the friends I just took out, no one else is coming. Although I suppose they could use that then to lull you into false sense of security and take advantage of that. I really am so cynical when it comes to these games, in like, not in a serious manner, but cynical in the sense of, you know, I don't trust anything. Whenever something good is happening, I'm usually like, okay, this is interesting and cool, but like, how is it going to try to kill me? Although you could perhaps argue that I'm perhaps too trusting in very particular situations, and not trusting enough in others. Very nice. Went from having none to 2 now. Wow, look at all these markers. Complete waste, really. So yeah, I assume in the next episode, we're probably going to start here. Do we want to... I might want to use that swordstone key. Oh, there's a bear, friend. What the heck are you doing here? I'm sorry, bear friend. Oh! Okay. I suppose I deserve that. Oh my gosh, that mosquito messed me up. I totally deserve that. My thought process there was, you know, if this bear is here, I assume it's guarding something. Because it was kind of out of place. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. I will leave that lady to do her thing. With her guillotine arms, I am not a fan. Only because it scares me. I got way too close there. I really should have hit them when I had a chance. I also don't want to lose these runes. Leave me alone, mosquito. Oh! Ouch! Oh no, I'm dead. Greedy. Sorry, friend. Oh, just leave me alone. Silly mosquitoes. Okay, so they really weren't guarding anything. I was just being mean. Okay, that's really sad. I'm sorry. Wait, is it this lamp that is causing the frame rate dips? Because I feel like as soon as I turned it on, it might have been a coincidence. As soon as I turned on the lamp, the frame rate dipped by like 10 frames per second or something. No, I just killed that bear friend for absolutely no reason. Why was there only a single bear here, though? That makes no sense to me. Okay, just I'm a horrible person, that's all. Okay. be able to loot these graves in peace, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that because of this darn thing. Dance, tarnished. Okay, those little flower friends. I'm almost certain there's a... I think I might have been thinking about Cactuar, I think their name was. But I feel like there was, in one of the Final Fantasy games, like a plant-type enemy that looked exactly like that friend. Oh, gosh darn it. All I want to do is loot these graves, friends. They really have no interest in letting me do that in peace. Which I suppose is fair enough, but... Okay, the magic goes through the graves. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, those grave sites, I think you can probably just avoid, because I think they're just... At least typically, I want to say they're just golden runes, which are nice to have, but they're not, you don't really need to have them. Okay, we are now retreading ground we've already covered, I believe. Yes, we've already taken care of that gazebo. Okay, that tower I wanted to check out. Obviously, we can't get there from the bottom. Okay, so there was a chest somewhere that I want to check out. It was there. Okay, so let's warp to the Crystalline Woods. I feel like the pop-in is getting worse. I don't think that's actually possible, but it can be quite bad when you just warp in and everything's just appearing out of nowhere. Hey, Scarab friends, where are you going? Okay, no point in killing them if they don't actually drop items. But I still don't feel like I have a good grasp on when they do and when they don't. Earlier, of course, we saw that one that was... Gosh darn it. We saw that one that was glowing. Okay, alright. You win. You win. Scarab friend, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, you know, I think that tanks the frame rate, the lantern. Academy Crystal Cave. Oh, gosh darn it. But, like, I can't not use it. Oh, what a thing to tank the frame rate. Maybe it's just entirely coincidental, but we cannot warp from in here. So, I want to be weary of any one-way drops. That's a giant rat. Not a giant rat, it's a rat, but... Giant rat as far as real-life rats go, but not a giant rat from a Souls perspective. Okay, so that's just another place we're gonna have to add to the list, because obviously don't have time to deal with that today. So, Sites of Grace, Academy Crystal Cave, perfect. Oh, hello. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, I really have no idea. So they don't even give you any runes. Unless it's like there's a random chance that you get an item. Yeah, I really don't know. Okay, so we can remove that marker because obviously we're going to need as many of those markers as we can possibly get at this point. Suppose we could go see what those crystal friends are up to. We definitely did not have the damage to take them on previously, but I'm not sure if we have the damage to even take them on now. Or we could proceed to the Academy Gate Town. Let's proceed to the Academy Gate Town. So we've obviously dealt with the majority of this area here. So what I think I'll do is hop on our trusty Spectral Steed Torrent and just sort of waltz on by all the friends we've already engaged with. If we were to stop back there and look around in the water, you'd see the cute little young albinoric heads and faces just sort of poking out of the water. And I was wondering about, well, where are all these friends coming from? It's like they're coming out of the water. They were indeed coming out of the water. But you can see them sort of like, it's like they're buried up to their shoulders, which is weird. It's a crab friend. And by buried, I mean in the sense that, you know, at least this is a thing in Canada. I always try to remember that not everyone has the same experiences as me, of course, but also that, you know, I'm very fortunate to have an international viewership, so I try to be mindful that not everyone has sort of the same cultural traditions and whatnot and things that they do. But in Canada, when you go to the beach, it's a thing. Well, this one is Frost, I believe, where, you know, you bury people in the sand just for jokes. I don't know why. At least as a kid, I found it amusing. I don't know why I would as an adult. But yeah, it's the thing people do. And so, you know, sometimes you see people buried all the way up to their neck or above their shoulders, and it's just their head. You know, they either have to be in very weak sand or with people they trust a whole lot, because otherwise someone could just leave them there in theory. And yeah, and that's what the young albinorics look like, which is kind of frightening, but yeah. Smithing Stone level 2, friends. We need level 3. Where is the level 3 Smithing Stones? Okay, there is a Finger Reader Crone around here somewhere, but not sure where. I think she's above us, probably. Whoa. Okay, so we can actually see some soldier friends. Did we clear this area? Certainly, we cleared everything leading up to it. Here's a statue of Marika, I think. Definitely cleared everything leading up to this. My thought process, even though we are, even more quickly running out of time at this point, was that we could maybe clear the area leading up to the site of grace that we warped to through the wormhole. Don't know that that's possible. Oh, they have the flamethrower thing there. Again, this is what we managed to avoid in Stormville Castle. Whoops, no fun when you can't point your thing around. Kaku Glintstone. So I do have the means to craft that item. And I am going to want to do that at some point. Not because I really want to use it, but because in the process of farming the Gale Tunnel, I picked up a ton of cracked crystalline shards, whatever it's called. And otherwise it's just not really doing anything with it. It's just going to sit there in my inventory. So if I craft it, at least that way I can sell it and, you know, make a few runes. Shatter Shard Arrow Fletched. So fletched are like arrows that travel farther, I want to say. Arrows whittled from animal bones tipped with a shard of crystal. Creates a resonating noise at the point of impact. Craftable item. The fletching adds distance to the arrow's flight. Wonder what the point is of the resonating noise. Oh. That's where that noise was coming from. So maybe that fletched arrow was placed there for a reason. So that you then try it on this friend here. Whoa. Oh no, but now they're just gonna get away. Oh, gosh darn it. Oh, can you use it to distract friends? Okay, we only have 3 left, so we'll have to make this worthwhile. Oh, that's really, really cool. That is a really cool item. I like that a lot. That's, it's basically an arrow alluring skull. Very cool. Whoever came up with that idea, I hope they got a raise. Okay, so I can summon Jellyfish Friend now, but... thank goodness for all that farming I did. It really is making this game much more, like, not that I wasn't enjoying it before, of course, but it's more manageable now. And again, yeah, there's a certain enjoyment I get out of feeling hefty weapon and the weighty combat that comes along with that sometimes. Often. Okay. So yeah, we are indeed more or less where we ended up via the warp. Although, yeah, we had that friend here. Well, you are a lot more agile than I was giving you credit for, friend. Good job. So yeah, this, had we not gone to Caelid first, would have been the first meeting with this flamethrower tank friend. I don't even know how to describe him. The soldiers charged with, oh, Smithing Stone 3. Oh my god, I'm fat rolling. Oh, Aegon, gosh darn it. That was very silly of me. I was, you know, because the run animation is actually different. So I was thinking, gosh, I'm running kind of funny because you see walking and then you, okay, well, it's more obvious when you're running, but very silly of me to not have noticed that sooner. Because it really was kind of obvious. So now the question is... No, we can't go around there. I got way the heck overconfident there. Whoa. Consistently impressed by just the sheer commitment to the voice acting. Okay, last time we walked around, which I think was a good strategy until I basically blew our cover. Suppose having Jellyfish Friend here is not going to make that any easier, but you know, Jellyfish Friend and I, we are a package deal, although, gosh darn it. Why can't you come over here? There are runes. Thank you. Oh, but then there's the tank friend. Okay. Sorry, Jellyfish Friend. Thank you for your sacrifice. Aurelia, I should say. Oh yeah, you can see on the left side. Oh, not anymore. But yes, whoops. I equipped Ground Slam, which is an absolutely incredible special item to have on your weapon. For reasons I will demonstrate shortly. Like, I didn't know I needed that in a Souls game until I got it. Okay, if I recall correctly, backstabbing this friend was very problematic. Oh no, oh no. Thank you. Whew. Yeah, I'm dead set on just clearing this area so that in the next episode we can finally enter the academy. Guess you don't need to jump to pick up the butterflies. Yeah, as much as I do enjoy the open world areas, I am also, yeah, I don't know if I'd say I enjoy, yeah, it really is weird because I enjoy them and I don't at the same time. There's the finger reader crone. I think in an earlier time, when I had more time to spare, I would have enjoyed the open world areas more. And again, it's not to say I don't enjoy them, but yeah, it's difficult in my present circumstances to spend several episodes in a row exploring an open world area. And anyways, I only say that because I'm not sure if anyone's actually going to enjoy watching me explore the areas or not. If you are and have been enjoying it, then completely disregard everything I'm saying. Hi, friend.
You, please, I can read them. Your fingers. Please, your fingers.
Sure, have a look.
Oh, bless you. Oh. Michaela's favor can be yours. Slaughter. 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 The all-hearing slaughtered, but alas, it was for naught. But all you need do is snatch it from the big pot. Poor, poor fool.
Okay, the all-hearing. Didn't we hear a reference to someone? Someone in the all-hearing, and I joked that it was like someone with big ears or something like that. I'm going to assume that's the same person. I was hoping that I could clip through this in a way that would allow me to get a nice image for the thumbnail here, but this like 8-bit grass is making that very problematic, so I think I'll just leave that for now. Once again, the Erd tree is translucent until you zoom in. Again, I can only assume that's a graphical glitch. Classic FromSoft. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything around the periphery here. But of course, my fear is that as soon as I say, okay, there's nothing here, and then I don't check it out, there's going to be some incredible item that I'm going to regret missing, and everyone's going to be like, why the heck didn't you get it? Blue-white wooden shield. That looks familiar. Small wooden round shield that has been reinforced with metal. It is light and easy to handle, but cannot offer the damage negation of a true metal shield. The design is said to represent the stars of the night sky, portending fate. So the idea of the stars portending fate is, of course, a reference to astrology, which, as I mentioned in an earlier episode, was historically entangled with astronomy. So even though today it's obviously more or less nonsense, historically it was not always that way. Okay, I think I'm satisfied. We've taken care of all the friends here, including the fire tank thing, which are always fun to deal with. And we have completed basically everything, I want to say, between where we were and the gate. So I'm not going to open the gate just yet, but I think this is a perfect place to end the episode, and we'll head into the Academy of Raya Lucaria in the next episode. So thank you all very, very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!